welcome in. I am MissKinghorn and we are back here in The Sims 4, this time with another Sims 4 speed build, and this time we are working on another 3-bedroom family home. This one has 2.5 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms, and they're in a kind of a bit of a Cape Cod kind of style. I don't know if anyone's really noticed. One thing I'm doing with all of these builds is kind of creating them in different styles so that they're not all the same. They kind of all different and unique, which I think is better than having somewhere like a whole neighborhood that looks exactly the same, because essentially it makes really boring videos if I'm doing the same house over and over again, essentially. So I thought we'll mix it up with a little bit of different styles. So this time it is for the Mint family, and surprise surprise, they love the colour mint. So there's lots of sort of light greens, sort of light blues, yellows coming through, and lots of these sort of nice earthy sort of light wood touches with little hints of white just popping through as well into here. So this is for a couple and their 2 children. One is a teenage boy who's having a bit of a rebellion streak to them at the moment, and also their space loving child kid as well. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is the family that I got mixed up with last week. So there was a little bit of an issue with the description of last week's build, because surprise surprise, we've managed to get 2 out very quickly. This house was actually built before the other one was even released, and I was taking all the screenshots for it and doing all of that and everything, and I ended up writing the wrong description in last week's YouTube video, but we fixed it, and here we are with this family's into here. So yeah, moving on after that one into here. So you can already see we have done the front entrance hall. It's kind of a nice little bit of a sort of a combi kind of study area, as well as like there's a bookshelf, there's a little seating area, take your shoes on, a little bit of realism coming into there as well. And we're now jumping straight into the kitchen. So as per usual, I didn't have all of like the outside. I did all of that off. Well, I did record it, and then I probably deleted over an hour's worth of footage because it was just not going to cut nicely, and it was just too awkward to cut but keep in certain aspects that you'd want to see. So it just made more sense to take the whole lot out into there. You'll see it all on the outside screenshots in there. I do take a couple of them, not too many actually in this build, but most of the inside is what I screenshot. The outside areas are kind of not necessarily boring, but I feel like with these builds, because the lots are weird, and I've said this like every single week, haven't I? Every video I've said I don't like the lot sizes and the lot shapes. But yeah, the gardens all look very samey, so I tried to change it up a little bit, but honestly it's like the same as the last one, which is the same as the one before that and the one before that. But anyway, that's life, and so we are speeding through this little kitchen. So I was knowing about going for a modern kitchen versus an all wood kitchen, and then thought this mint sort of light green works perfectly with this family. It kind of has that like a farmhouse but sort of modern kind of vibe to it as well, which I think works really well for this kind of build. So that's the one we've gone through. This is a kitchen diner, so the kitchen's kind of at one end, and then you have a dining area in the other section at the other end. But yes, there is the main bedroom is downstairs with an ensuite, and then you have the 2 children's bedrooms and a very messy bathroom for them upstairs. 2 boys is kind of my inspiration, my family for this build. One thing I always do say is if you have a family in mind, do let me know. If you want a house built, do let me know. And it may just happen. I'm strangely, for a builder, for me, anyone who knows me for a while knows I don't do CAS. But for all of these builds since toddlers, infants, oh dear, wrong life stage, came out, I have been building families for all of these homes. It's weird. I'm not entirely sure I like it, but I'm rolling with it. So I have my next family built or created, however you want to call it. They're all done, and so I've just got to build their house. But after that, I have no idea what to do. So if you have a family in mind, if you have a idea, maybe it's a lot style or building style or a lot type or something like that, do let me know. We are going to be moving. This is in the Whale district, which is Gilbert Gardens, if I'm not wrong. You know, I have my frog, I have district, I have the whale, and then we have the anchor. They're the district names. I don't spend too much time looking in the world view, so I don't really know what they're probably called, but I think it's Gilbert Gardens. Let me know in the comments down below. What are the worlds? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we've got the weird 40 by 20 roundabout lot, which is the one I'm going to be doing next. And then we have the 64 by 64, which I'm not sure what we're going to do on that. And then I do believe there's another 40 by 30 in this neighbourhood. And then we've got the whole of the anchor district to do as well, with all of their lots. So that's coming up too. I don't necessarily know when or what order we'll be doing them, other than the 40 by 20, which is going to be next into there. But other than that, yeah, let me know if you have a family or an idea or a suggestion, anything at all. It may just happen. So kitchen is now all done. Back to the video. Kitchen is all done, and now we've kind of created that little sort of dining area, just sort of pushed over to one side into here. And I thought a nice sort of big sort of chest kind of cabinet would work really well in here. I kind of went through all of them and then decided on this one, which kind of fits quite nicely. And then a little basket in there with some blankets and cushions and stuff in there. And then, as per usual, we've got to put a rug in, so we just have one of those just nicely into there. Right then, and this is our sort of main bedroom coming down here. So you can see you've got the stairs coming off, a little ensuite. It's not the biggest sort of ensuite. It is also a really strange sort of size. I don't know how many takes I did. I kind of had to have the stairs where they are. So the stairs were very much a kind of a key point, and then everything had to come off of that. So I did originally have it that the bedroom was where the kitchen was, and sometimes it was where the living room was, and I just could not get it to all really work. So the main bedroom is kind of squished in the middle of this house. You have like the living room to the left of the front door, and then you have to kind of walk through that hallway down into the kitchen diner, which is at the other end of the house, which I don't know, is that a good thing, is that a bad thing? I don't know. I feel like it would probably be a bit of a trek if you want a cup of drink, you want some juice, or you want a drink during an advert break for TV or something. But I don't know, in The Sims it doesn't really matter too much. So yes, I love putting the new suitcases and putting them into little rooms, like, you know, they're just there ready in case for your next holiday, as it is coming up to holiday season as well. So we're getting hot here. Weirdly, I think we're in the middle or just starting a 3-week heat wave, is what they're predicting. It's been glorious. Having come from a really long sort of winter to get into some nice sunshine, it's very nice. A little bit concerning work-wise, because it is so early this year, like the heat. We don't normally get it so early, but I feel like it's going to be another hot summer. Part of me is looking forward to that. Part of me knows I'm going to have to work through it, and it was too hot last year, so I do not want to do it again this year. But what do? We just have to work through and deal with the conditions as best we can. So this is the sort of living area. Again, weird kind of little shape. It's got kind of little pop outs, and this is the only access outside is coming up of this little living area other than the front door. So it kind of had to have like that hallway kind of feel to it as well, which is not really what I want, but you know, as I often say, you just have to sort of roll with it into there. But this side here is for sort of the TV, sort of seating area. We've got a couple of rocking chairs as well that look really nice with all of that, and just getting some bits and pieces just to make it feel a little bit more lived in and a little bit more cluttered as well. Now we do get a few bits and pieces. So the TV rack, I often forget that piece. It was only that we were sort of scrolling through that I saw it. I thought, yes, we'll get that into there. But we then get a few little toys just sort of scattered around, a little toy chest. And at this point I really didn't know what sort of ages we were going to have, so I did get a little bit of a toy out. It is actually in the build, but maybe it's like an old one, maybe it's, I don't know, you've had visiting family and they've left it behind, something like that. You know, you can come up with your own little story for why there is a toddler toy in here as well. I do get the big sort of castle doll's house in, which again, I don't know, I feel like we don't have a sort of, all of the dolls houses we have in game are very feminine, and it wasn't really what I wanted. We do have the new one from the Happy Campers, little campers kit, but I wasn't really feeling that one for this build. So yeah, we kind of went for that one, but again, I did it before I realised or decided on what sort of Sims we wanted for this build. But we are jumping up into the kids' bedroom up here. So this is quite a dark sort of bedroom. It's dark blues. There's lots of blacks coming in. There's also that little strip of sort of red cabinet that I thought was actually a really nice sort of feature. Like maybe it's extra storage, lots of sort of space here and there for toys and clutter and clothes and things like that into there. It was inspired by a Pinterest build, I've got to be honest. I saw a picture of a bedroom kind of with all of the cabinets in, which I thought looked very cool. I think the one I saw, the Pinterest image that I saw, also had them along the bottom and like the bed was sort of coming out of the cabinets, but obviously we couldn't do that, so we had to kind of improvise into there. But yes, we get a few bits and pieces, and we are bouncing because of the ceilings and the roofs. It was quite difficult to kind of actually make up and see all of these bits and pieces, but we have all of those in there. I love the little starlights. They're actually, I think they're classed as wall art, but they do light up, and just kind of trailing those up there as well. And we do get them in a few other places as well, which I think makes it look quite good. Right, so putting a small little desk in here. This one doesn't have a computer or anything like that, but the teens one does. Downstairs there's a computer on the desk down in the hallway, so I thought the kid didn't really need one, but maybe like a area to do homework and stuff like that, and some crafts, things like that as well, kind of fits into there a little bit better. We do also have the journal from Parenthood. I often forget this piece, but I thought for this build it kind of worked in there. And there's some more little spacey bits and pieces just coming along just to kind of fit that vibe. And another bookcase. You can never have enough bookcases into here. So we have another one. I think there's one downstairs in the hallway. That might actually be it. Okay, only the second bookcase. That's not too many. Into here, and then we're just getting out a few little bits of clutter in here. I'm not really sure. I don't think that light stays there. I think we end up moving that down onto the desk. Into there, and then obviously there's some sort of clutter just coming in, and some toys and bits and pieces, just to kind of again make this room feel very lived in and very much a family home that's messy, it's unorganized, it's in its sort of wonderful natural sort of glory. It's not a show home. I don't do show homes. I do homes that are lived in and things like that. So just grabbing out a few little posters and that into here, and I think that is coming up to be the end of this room in here. And there's a few more little lights just coming down. Again, just kind of trailing them down to make it look a little bit better into here, and see what we can get away with in there. That's fine. And another rug. I was going to go with that one, but then I thought no, there is the actual space rug down there, and that fits in quite nicely in there. And then just to bring in a few more little red pops, because we hadn't got much red coming through this bedroom, so just using some red curtains. And this bedroom, oh my, okay, this bedroom, you're gonna see, I think this is about take 3 of this bedroom. I could not come up with an idea or concept. As I say, I didn't really know kind of what ages, what genders, what kind of rooms we were going for, like style wise. So at first I went very kind of, not to say bright pink, but I think it had lots of pinks and purples into it, and I thought no, I wanted it to be a little bit different. And then I went for the dinosaur, which is so different to my normal builds. Wait, I feel like they're all the time. But then we went for this little blue, and then we go white, and yeah, at this point I think, right, we need a feature wall. Let's find a feature wall. Where are the dots? So we use this one, trying to find a colour. I think, right, we'll go for the white and black sort of dots, and here go very white. Be fine, it'll be good. And that kind of leads me down a tangent to go for a very black and white kind of bedroom, whereas a lot of the other rooms are all very colourful and kind of fitting in with the sort of colours of the house, very sort of minty, light greens and blues and things like that. This one, totally different. So that's where my bit of a rebellion teen kind of comes in, that they're not fitting with the norms, so we kind of change it up a little bit into here, and getting a few bits and pieces out as well. So lots of clutter again. This one they do have that little sort of computer tablet kind of combo on there, maybe because they're doing a little bit more harder homework and things like that. You need to like research it and things like that. That's kind of my idea for that one, that it's not a computer that they would sort of game on or anything like that. It is a like working sort of computer. In there, obviously it works the same as any computer, so they can game on it, but the idea was that it was going to be a just sort of for work and things like that, a little bit more of a mature kind of room. In there, lots of sort of bits and pieces, and then we do actually change some of this up, you'll see later on, and we kind of come up with a different combo. Now, I wasn't liking some of the wall art. It wasn't really fitting, so I thought we'll do the mirror trick, where we use a couple of mirrors in there to kind of create that sort of wall art look. I do try to get a few pieces in. We end up going very sort of movie poster-ish kind of build in here. So there is lots of sort of movies, there's lots of sort of like games and films, and some of them are signed in frames and all sorts of other bits and pieces, just to try and fit that sort of vibe that I wanted to get in. To here as a bit of a sort of a movie buff coming through into there, and trying to figure out where we can re-put them, and it ends up going up over here, and we sort of scale them all down. We do lots of other bits and pieces just to try and get as much sort of detail in these builds as I can to come into here as well. So we have little bits and pieces. Now the little hallway at the top here, you don't actually see the bathroom. The bathroom's done at the other end of this little hallway. I end up putting a chest table in there because I really didn't know what to do with it. I was like, well, I could put a little desk in, but it's only 2 tiles wide, so you wouldn't get a chair in as well, and then it's all going to be tight. And I thought, oh, we'll get a piano, but no, that didn't fit. Easel, it doesn't really have any windows, it's quite a dark space, wouldn't really work. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to pop a chest table in there, and that's your lot. But this is the last little bit that we work on into here. So if you have enjoyed this video, then please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You mean so very much to me. But if you have liked this build as well and want to see more of it, do let me know your favourite bits down in the comments. But I will be live on Twitch very, very soon. So I stream 3 times a week over on Twitch, which is the same as here on YouTube as MissKinghornBuilds. You also have my Twitter, which is MissKinghorn, and either my Discord, which is the MKB Build Center. That is down in the description, so all of the links are down there, so you can join that in there. But for now, I will leave you with the screenshots, and I look forward to seeing you all again really, really soon. Alright, bye everyone!